Hey guys, welcome back to today's reading. Today we are going to see what were they thinking the last time they saw you. So what was going through their mind the last time you guys made eye contact, saw each other in person, maybe communicated? What was going through their mind? What was happening in their heart? We're going to get into all of it. And today we have a selection of beautiful paintings for you to choose from. So you're going to see which of these paintings is sticking out to you, calling your name, drawing your attention in towards it. And then as soon as you've made up your mind, just scroll down to the timestamps in the comments and the description and jump right into your pile. I also want to mention that if you like how I read tarot, I also have a Patreon with a ton of additional readings. I just posted one all about your finances and money. And before that, all about what you were like in a past life and any karma you've brought into this life. But there are over 80 additional readings you'll only get access to as soon as you sign up for my Patreon, as well as exclusive early access to all my YouTube videos. So you will be the first to see anything I post over here on YouTube. And if you would like to sign up, head to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments in the description and join me on Patreon. Also, if you would like to get a private session with me, you can get that at my website, briarrosetarot.com. And whether you just want me to open channel and get some messages from your guides, angels, ancestors, see what they have to say, or whether you want me to tune into something really specific and answer specific questions about a certain area of your life, that works as well. So we can do either kind of reading. If you're interested in that, head to my website, briarrosetarot.com. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Now, if you need more time to decide, you can totally feel free to rewind, pause, and take as much time as you need. But we're going to go ahead and jump into pile one. Hey, pile one, welcome to your reading. So let's get into your cards. We are going to see how they felt the last time they saw you. How did they feel the last time they saw you? Okay, we got the Tower card. So they may not have been feeling great. There may have been something unpleasant that happened the last time they saw you. Maybe for some of you guys, there was an argument or a bad discussion, or they just had that indication that things weren't going to go well. They may have had a premonition, because we're all intuitive. Maybe they knew deep down that like this was going to be the last time they saw you for a while, or that things weren't going great with you, or they may have just been in a really bad place in their life, feeling really negative in general. Yeah, the Tower definitely indicates that there may have been some negative feeling going on with them. And they probably weren't feeling sunshine and roses and just like everything's awesome. So yeah, we got the Temperance card as well. Let's see what other cards we're going to get for pile number one. How was pile one's person feeling the last time they saw them? Five of Wands. Okay, so that's another card that can definitely indicate that there was fighting, some kind of argument, or they had some kind of indication maybe that you weren't happy with them, or you were mad or displeased. I almost feel like what I'm getting the vibe of is this person may have panicked. Like if they kind of clammed up or started acting weird the last time you saw them, it's almost like they may have had an indication that you were mad at them, and then they started panicking or thinking like, oh wow, they hate me, and then it got worse. You know how sometimes like you're doing a bad job at something and you become aware of it and it just makes you perform even worse than you were. Like you become very self-conscious and just hyper aware. And I feel like that may have happened with this person, where maybe they went into it kind of like feeling good or feeling okay, and then something happened and they were like, oh, maybe pile one's mad at me, or maybe pile one doesn't like me, or yeah, like it feels like almost like a spiral started happening, where maybe it was a small thing at first and then they're in their head, or they're panicking, or yeah, maybe they know this is the last time they're going to see you. We have the Temperance card. The Temperance card can indicate longevity. So this person may have had the indication or the desire to have something long term with you. Yeah. they may have had that desire for like a long-term relationship and some kind of permanent connection, and then maybe things started falling apart. I almost feel like this person, it's like they're not a fighter, and it's interesting we got the Five of Wands, which depicts fighting, but I feel like they are not prone to like fighting for something. They may have a debilitated or low energy Mars, like a Mars in Libra or something, that makes them not really good at fighting and not really the best at like going after a goal. And maybe they were kind of like, I don't even know what to say. Like, I know pile one is mad at me and now I'm terrified, so I'm just gonna like not do anything, or I'm just gonna like melt out of this situation instead of fighting, instead of trying to push back and fix things and be like, hey, what's wrong? You're acting weird. Maybe they, they started like getting in their feelings about it and being kind of feeling low self-esteem, or feeling like, oh my God, they're so mad at me, I don't know what to say, Yeah. Let's see what other cards. Ooh, Eight of Swords. I'm telling you, like, definitely, it's like, what do I say? What do I do? Where do I go? How do I fix this? I feel like, the Eight of Swords is someone who really isn't sure of how to proceed. They may feel really stuck. They may feel like, oh my gosh, it's just funny. There's so many negative cards. Like, I really thought maybe, we were going to start out with the Tower. Sometimes we get the Tower leading off the reading, and then we get more positive cards. And these are just all like really negative. Yeah. Like, I feel like with the Six of Swords reverse, maybe this person knew it was over, or they knew you didn't like them, but then they were like, yeah, I feel like this person does not know what to do, does not know how to fix it, does not know what to say. With the Strength card reverse, again, that vibe of like debilitated Mars, or not feeling strong enough, not being brave enough to be like, okay, listen, I know you're mad, I know you're upset, but let me talk to you, or let me deal with this head on. That kind of stoicism, that where Mars is at its best, where it's in Capricorn, for example, where it's exalted, that Mars is very stoic and they're willing to take on whatever. And if you tell them like, well, I think you messed up, they're going to be like, okay, yeah, that's fine, But it's reminding me of that vibe of someone who might have a low vibrational Mars, and not a badly placed Mars, like a Mars in Libra, where they don't know what to do. They want to keep the peace. So they're kind of like, what do I say? And, they just panic. Like, as soon as the conflict starts, they're not used to it. They're not ready to handle it. And they kind of like freak out. And that's what it's reminding me of, is like someone that is just panicking. It's almost like watching a slow horror film. You know how sometimes you're in a situation and you like know the situation's getting messed up. Like, it doesn't even have to be romantic or social, but just like maybe you're going to like the like going on a flight to a airport, and you're like, I know I'm running late and I don't think I have that document, but there's nothing you can do to change it. So you're like, well, I think I'm going to hit traffic and I'm pretty sure I'm going to miss this flight, but there's nothing you can really do about it. Like, it's already set in motion. The traffic's already there. You're already running late. You already are missing whatever document you needed. And so all you can do is like play it out and play it as it lays, and kind of like still go to the airport and then just wait for the agent at the front desk to tell you like, oh no, you missed the flight and you can't board, or whatever, you have to pay this fine. But there's nothing you can really do about it. There's nothing to change it. And I feel like that's how this person felt through your last interaction, is kind of like, I can't do anything about this. Like, this person is mad at me, or this person is disappointed. It may have even triggered something in them, like, because I feel like they did care about you. It may have triggered, like, especially if they have a mother wound or a father wound, a daddy issues or mommy issues, especially for people who grow up with like disapproving parents, or have hard aspects to their moon or their sun. like a Saturn aspect to the moon, or a Saturn aspect to the sun, or a Capricorn moon, Capricorn sun. They can have those really strong disapproval issues from their parents, and they can have triggers and trauma when it comes to that. Like as soon as they feel a little disapproval, they're like, oh my God, my mom was never happy and blah, blah, blah. And it just conjures up those feelings of lack of self-worth. And I feel like that kind of happened with this person. Like it kind of pressed a bruise for them. It kind of like triggered something where they were like, oh, I'm not good enough. So yeah, I feel like they did not feel good about your last interaction. Whatever happens, whatever went down, I feel like this person was panicking a little, and definitely not any kind of positive feeling when they left at all. So let's do some song cards, I guess. So I'm just going to pull these song cards off camera, but I promise I'm not picking specific songs or anything. Okay, this is what you came for, Taylor Swift and Rihanna. And the lyric, yes, I know that's a Calvin Harris song, but to me it's a Taylor Swift Rihanna song. So the lyric that sticks out for me with that song is, and everybody's watching her, but she's looking at you. So again, I feel like this person actually did really like you and kind of put you up at a pedestal. Maybe that's why they were so disappointed when they felt like there was a negative interaction, or they felt like you were disappointed or not impressed with them, and it really bothered them to their soul, instead of just being able to be like, okay, whatever, who cares, this person doesn't like me, and that's just how the cookie crumbles, and oh well, because that's how you would be if you really didn't like someone and they didn't like you back. You'd be like, okay, whatever. But I feel like this person actually did really like you and kind of saw a future with you, and they respect you. That's a big thing, is like they respect you. They kind of like, I don't want to say they're in awe of you. Maybe that's a little too strong, but that's kind of close to the feeling I'm getting of just really respecting you and thinking like, wow, pile number one's amazing, and they're so awesome, and they're cute, and they're smart. And I feel like they respect your mind. They don't think of you as just cute and not that smart. They really think of you as as having good judgment. So the fact that you were disappointed or not impressed, I feel like really did weigh on them. We got Beyond Love, Beach House. Let's get some more songs. The Bright Side. Yeah, they were depressed. Once we start getting the Lil Peep songs, definitely they were depressed. Ivy, Taylor Swift. Always in My Head, Coldplay. And let's get one more song. Now That I Found You, Carly Rae Jepsen. And I'm going to do one more actually. Okay, two came out. Bad Romance, Taylor Swift, and Endgame, Taylor Swift. Or excuse me, Bad Romance, Lady Gaga. So I feel like this person may have thought of you as Endgame, or thought of you as just like, yeah, I really like them and they're really cool and I could see something with them. And honestly, I keep getting the vibe that you were disappointed in them, or you weren't impressed with them, or they felt curbed by you. They felt like you shot them down, or you weren't interested in them. So I feel like in their mind, like that's kind of a self-esteem hit. Like they did like you a lot. They do respect your opinion on things. So to feel like you just dropped them like a hot potato, I feel like has bothered them. And I feel like it does weigh on them. I kind of want to give this person a hug. Like I feel bad for them, because it does feel like they're kind of hurt by it. I don't want to make you guys feel bad, but we got Always in My Head. So this person may have replayed this a lot and kind of like thought it over a million times of like, why did I say that? Or, okay, so I think they were mad because I did this. Or like, oh, I should never have said blah, blah, blah. Oh my God, I'm so awkward. I feel like they're kind of in that like low self-esteem, replaying what happened, rehashing it in their mind, and kind of being really hard on themselves, kind of questioning like, why did I do that? Why did I say that? So yeah, I feel like it has definitely not just ended, it didn't end that night or the last time you saw them. That wasn't the last time they thought this over, and it wasn't the last time they felt bad about it, or they were wondering about it. I feel like it has definitely stayed with them, and it's definitely something that they kind of struggle with even now is like, how did that go down like that? And why did I say this? And they may really beat themselves up and try to like even read up on like, okay, what should you do on a date next time? Or what should you say to be cool to a girl or to a guy? I feel like they kind of have done a lot of that self-searching or almost trying to like self-improve because they felt so bad about how things went down with you. This person may have opened up to you a little bit more than they usually do. I do feel like there was a part of them that felt very vulnerable around you. And it's reminding me of the song Ivy by Taylor Swift, where she says, "Your ivy grows and now I'm covered." And I feel like that's a really good depiction of how love works, or how maybe you start out just like getting to know someone and you're talking to them and you kind of like them, but then over time you start thinking of them more and more, and you start really caring about their judgment and what they think of you and what they think about your outfit or whatever. And I feel like that, it kind of sneaks up on you. And that's kind of how this person felt about you, is like, okay, I was into pile one, but yeah, they're kind of really cool. And maybe I wasn't thinking that I was looking for a relationship, or maybe I wasn't thinking I was looking for something serious, or maybe I wasn't looking actively for a partner. But yeah, like I really like them and I respect them. So the fact that they feel like they embarrass themselves around you, I feel like definitely kind of hurts their hearts. Yeah, it's almost like I feel like this person may have played it cool at the end or acted like they didn't care, because again, I feel like they were kind of so frozen into place and kind of feeling like this is unsalvageable. Like, what do I even say? So yeah, they may have kind of tried to play it off or acted like, yeah, whatever, I'm not bothered, but I do feel like they definitely were a little bit hurt. Let's get some more tarot for pile number one. We want to know what they were feeling last time they saw pile one. How was pile one's person feeling the last time they saw them? Okay, so we got the 10 of Wands reverse. Yep, it's that same exhausted energy, like, I don't know how to proceed type energy. The Star. Okay. The Death card. Oh God, we're getting all like the depressing cards, right? Whenever someone asks me about readings, sometimes they'll be like, what would happen if you ever got the Devil card? And I'm like, I get the Devil card all the time. Or what would you say to someone if they get the Death card? And I'm like, it's not that bad. But I always say, I guess it depends. Like, did the Tower card come out next to the Death card and the Devil card? It's like all negative cards, because then I might be a little freaked out. And now that has happened in this reading. This person is getting all the negative cards, so it definitely took a toll on them. So we also got the Justice card, we got the 8 of Wands, and we got the 2 of Cups reversed. Oh, that's so sad. Yeah, I feel like they did feel connected to you, and they did feel the potential for a big connection and something that would happen long term, and something that could really be something special. With the Justice card, they may even be feeling wronged by you. They may even feel this sense that you deserve karma, or you treated them really badly, or, you deserve to suffer because how could you do this to me, kind of a thing. Like, I do feel like this person is really sad about it. With the Star card, they may have, again, put you up on that pedestal. And they may also have gone to a place that was kind of like unemotional afterwards, because Aquarius is the ruler of the Star card, and Aquarius is a very unemotional energy. It can shut off their emotions quick. And especially if they sense like, oh, that's not reciprocated, or okay, bye. And, there's end things with no emotion. So this person may have kind of like, if that's a coping mechanism for them, if that's a way that they handle things, is just like shutting down, then that may have been how this person reacted, was just like, okay, bet, then I'm not going to text you, I'm not going to call you, I'm not going to cry, you're not going to see me sobbing, because I'm gonna just disconnect completely. And they may have wanted to portray that, especially if they sensed that you were disconnecting, which I feel like they did, or you were mad at them, or you were over it. They may have been like, okay, so then bye, and try to really portray that energy from themselves, that they weren't upset about it. Yeah. But we also got the Two of Cups reversed. So that definitely, the Two of Cups is a really deep emotional card about connection and about two souls coming together. So I really feel like this person felt very drawn to you, felt very recognized by you, felt like they could really open up to you. And the fact that it's reversed is sad because they really wanted something deeper. They really wanted to be able to open up to you. And I think they saw a lot of potential. Like, I think they really felt very drawn. So how is this person feeling like now? How is this person feeling now? How is this person feeling now about it, Spirit? The Empress reversed. The Four of Wands. Okay. So they may be distracting themselves with partying with the Four of Wands. And with the Empress reversed, again, I feel like they think of you as really attractive, beautiful, but they're kind of mad at you, And so they may be thinking on you a lot. And it may be spiraling around over and over in their head, but they're in a kind of bitter place about it. They're not feeling like positive and like, yeah, pile one, they're so beautiful and I love them and I'm really happy. They may be kind of like bitter and mad and thinking like, oh, pile one's really attractive, but they probably think they're all that. It's kind of like they're almost coping and trying to make themselves less hurt. I feel, because I do feel like it definitely kind of did a number on them. And yeah, so they may be distracting themselves with the Four of Wands, going out a lot, partying, trying to have a good time. They may also have thought of you as really fun. Again, I feel like this person was kind of intimidated by you. They may even have thought of your personality as just like, you're super fun to be around. You're the Four of Wands energy. You're a good time. So it's sad so they're kind of hurt because, I don't know, they thought, oh, they probably have lots of other people they're dating. And they may write you off in that way as well. It's like, okay, so then, they were just a fling, whatever, I don't care. But I do feel like their emotions were hurt by this. And they did, I feel like, want something more. And now they're kind of trying to play it off a little. Let me get some of these cards. These are my favorite decks right now. But I am using my other decks on my Patreon. So if you missed the old decks, you can check my Patreon. But yeah, so let's see from this deck, how did this person feel last time they saw pile number one? Prophets and ancient seers, decisions, predictive guidance. They definitely felt that soul connection to you, pile one. Mindfulness, peaceful presence, quiet mind. Let's get one more. Journey guide, travel, changing location. They may feel like you're already on to the next. You've already left. You've already mentally moved on. You're not waiting around for them. You're not crying. And I keep hearing the song No Tears Left to Cry by Ariana Grande, which I really should have put in my song pick a card section, because that song comes up in a lot of readings. But I feel like this person is kind of telling themselves that I'm not going to cry about this person. I'm not going to be mad about it. And for that purpose, they may be out there, going out, partying, meeting others, because they're kind of trying to blot that out and distract themselves. I feel like they may also be assuming that you're doing the same thing, and that's why they're feeling called to do that and feeling called to process their pain in that way by just obliterating it and kind of distracting themselves, because they are thinking that you're out partying all night. This person is a little immature, I'm not going to lie. So I feel like their way of coping, they're not the best communicator, I guess. I feel like they carry a lot of things close to the vest. They're not necessarily going to tell you everything and be really honest. I feel like I don't want to say they're a game player, but I feel like this person actually has such a sweet, vulnerable side to themselves, and they kind of have to put up that shell. That's why I kind of got Aquarius vibes a little bit, and we did get the star card, is because, Aquarians are really good at that. If they feel like their emotions are getting hurt, they will just cut them off completely and totally sever that. And I feel like this person kind of did that, or they tried to do that, and it depends, of course, they may have a different chart, but I do feel like you've played in their mind quite a lot. And I feel like they do feel that spiritual connection to you with the prophets and ancient seers card. They may feel that connection with you on the astral plane and think of you when song comes up and kind of miss you. Like, I feel like this person, I don't know. I feel like they have a really hard time voicing what they want or getting vulnerable, but I also don't want to say like, oh, so put all your eggs in this person's basket and go confess to them, because when someone's immature, they may not even know what to do. They may feel like now they're in game mode and they're going to play games. And if you text them, they're going to ignore you because they're trying to be the Five of Wands and win this battle, but I feel like they kind of feel like they got played by you. Even if they are in that game playing mode, they feel like you won. They feel like they lost for sure with the Tower card coming out and all these negative cards. I feel like they feel like you definitely like beat them. They may also feel like maybe you're the type to, and I don't mean anything rude by this, but like hook up a lot, or that you have a lot of like people around you trying to date you, and so whatever y'all had didn't mean anything to you. Like, I feel like when they say like, oh, I feel like pile one is hooking up a lot, it's not in a way that's meant to be derogatory. It's meant to be in a way that's like, so I know they don't care about me. They're probably hooking up with like way other better people, and I'm just a number to them. I'm just a random hookup and they don't care, or I'm just another person they're flirting with, or yeah, there's some vibe about them thinking that you're very booked and busy with this Eight of Wands, travel, change in location. I feel like they are thinking of you as like you have a lot of options and suitors and people who want to date you. So you're already on to the next. You don't even remember them. You don't even think of them. You don't care, Yeah, like, and that's maybe why this person is bitter as well, is I actually feel like whatever y'all had did mean a lot to them. There was some emotion tied up in it, so it's kind of a little bit bitter energy of like, oh, okay, cool. So they don't care at all. Awesome. And yeah, I do feel a little bad for this person. Let's get some astrology dice for pile number 1. So we got Virgo. We got the 11th. Oh, we got Aquarius coming through. Perfect. That's exactly what I had been picking up on. And then we also got the South Node. So yeah, this person could have really triggered that kind of painful part of their chart, the past life, lack of self-worth, or like I was saying, because I do think the South Node also connects to childhood, because I think that's, we pick our parents before we come into this lifetime. So even if we have a parent wound, it's not all their fault, because we picked that for that life experience, mostly to transmute the same stuff we dealt with in other lifetimes, and we have to kind of deal with it again. You know what I mean? So I feel like for them, they have that lack of self-worth or lack of confidence, almost like with that Virgo energy. It's that overthinker. It's that being very critical of themselves. And possibly sometimes Virgos diffuse that energy by being super critical to others instead of looking at themselves. But what it really comes down to is that lack of self-worth and that kind of feeling that they're never good enough, and feeling that, everything they do is wrong and they need to be so perfect in order to be okay. So I feel like this has been disappointing for them. I actually do feel bad for them. Like it feels like a mess to me. It feels like this person has been thrown for a loop and they are emotional about it. And they kind of are in a bad place. I don't know what you did to them, but you kind of played them in some way, pile 1. Like, I feel like that you broke their heart a little bit. Then we have the 11th house. Again, that Aquarius energy. Like, I feel like Aquarians, especially when they get their heart on the line, they'll be like, okay, shutting down, and they just completely can cut off. And genuinely, Aquarians can be really good at this because they can ghost someone and not care and not cry about it. And some other sign might ghost someone but then be like, well, I kind of feel bad, or yeah, but I had to do it, but it was hard. But an Aquarian will be like, yeah, I ghosted them, I don't care, and genuinely cut themselves off from that emotion. But of course, we all have those emotions buried in our subconscious. So even if you have a lot of Aquarius, you might still have those emotions underneath the surface. And the more you hide them, the more they might grow out of control. So I do feel like this person is at a place where they're kind of like trying to move on, trying to be like, I don't care. But their thoughts do come back to you. And as far as the last time they saw you, it does feel like it was painful for them. And it does feel like they struggle even now with what went down. And there's a lot of like picking apart their behavior. Why did they react? Why did pile one react this way? Why was pile one mad at me? This is so unfair. Yeah. And kind of, there's a little bit of bitterness there. I'm not going to lie. They are feeling a little rejected, and there's a lot of pain with like, how could they do this, you know? So yeah, it's not the best feeling, to say the least, but that is what I have for you, pile one. So if it resonated, please let me know down in the comments. I really love reading what you guys have to say, especially after love readings. So let me know how this resonated for you, and please give this reading a like, a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. That really helps the channel. If you want to see more of my content, head on over to my Patreon. There's so many additional readings. I just posted one all about your finances and your money situation. And before that, a reading about past life karma that you're carrying into this lifetime. But there are over 80 different readings over on Patreon that you'll only find over there. Lots of different pick a cards over all kinds of topics. You also get early and ad-free access to all my YouTube videos. So if that sounds good to you and you want to sign up, head on over to my Patreon, and the link is underneath the timestamps in the comments in the description. I would love to see you there. Also, if you would like to get a private session with me, you can get that at my website, briarrosetarot.com. If you just want me to open channel for you and see what your guides, angels, ancestors have to say, what kind of energy check-in you want, just opening that portal and letting whatever come through, then we can do that. If you are wanting to ask specific questions as well, we can totally focus on specific stuff, but you can book that session through my website, briarrosetarot.com. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I'm sending you so much love and light, and I'll be back again very soon with another reading. Take care, guys. Bye. Hey, pile two, welcome to your reading. So let's get into your cards and see how your person felt the last time they saw you. How did pile two's person feel the last time they saw you? Okay, the last time they saw pile two. So we got the Ace of Pentacles, the Strength card, the Prince of Cups, Six of Pentacles, the Prince of Pentacles, okay, and the Prince of Swords reversed. It's interesting that we got so many Prince cards, and those correspond to the Knights in the traditional tarot deck. So it feels like your person, first of all, the last time they saw you, they were very attracted to you. I feel like your person thinks of you as a lot of fun with the Knight of Cups. I feel like they think of you as someone who's very interesting to be around, and they're very excited by you. Like, I feel like they have a lot of fire and energy when it comes to you, like excitement and interest, and possibly even wanting something long-term with that Ace of Pentacles, really wanting something that can stand the test of time. I feel like in a way this person doesn't know quite how to approach you or what to say to you. There's almost like a feeling of intimidation that I'm getting, and we can see that with the Strength card. They may not be sure of like how to get your approval or how to win you over. With the Six of Pentacles, they may think about, oh, should I try to give them some money, or should I try to impress them by showing off to them in some way financially, or by proving to them that I have, you know, a certain financial situation or a certain status level, or all the things I could do for them. I feel like your person does try to charm you, and again, they think of you, I feel like, as quite a catch and someone who's just a lot of fun, almost like hard to keep up with is what I'm getting. Like, I feel like this person doesn't know quite how to proceed to fully get your attention. I feel like in a way they feel like you're on a different level, or like they might be more, I don't know, corny than you or something, or they're not as cool as you in some way, that you're above them. And the Six of Pentacles can definitely talk about that kind of unequal power balance in a relationship, I feel like there's a part of them that does get insecure about you and might try to be flashy or show off or be like cool enough to get with you. So I feel like the last time they saw you, first of all, there was a lot of physical admiration, just thinking you look really, really good. And honestly, I also feel like this person was wondering a lot about how you feel about them, wondering if they'd impressed you, wondering if you think they're cool or not. And maybe this person was very self-conscious the whole time, thinking about the impression they made on you. They may want to know this exact same question. What did pile two think of me the last time I saw them? Because I feel like for them, they worry a lot about making sure that they impressed you, making sure that they seemed cool, making sure that you thought they were an interesting person. And I feel like part of them is unsure of like, did I keep the conversation up with the Prince of Swords reverse? Did I make a good impression? Did I show off enough? Did they come away with a good impression of me? So I feel like that was a big thing that they were worrying about the last time they saw you, was just kind of making sure that you were impressed and making sure that you were having a good time. I feel like they do think of you as someone who's kind of like booked and busy and has a lot going on in their life and has a lot on their plate, and maybe like you don't really have as much time for them, or you made time for them but you really have a lot of other things you're doing and they're not like a priority numero uno for you. They're not the most important person on your roster. I feel like in a way you don't show a lot of emotion, or you're kind of very, I want to say veiled. Like there's a lot of maybe distance. Maybe you have an RBF, resting witch face, or you're just not the type to, be super emotional with someone. I feel like in a way you might have a kind of distant ascendant, like a Capricorn ascendant or an Aquarius ascendant or even a Scorpio ascendant, kind of prickly, like not gonna say everything that you're feeling, not gonna open up, because I feel like this person is wondering a lot, like how did they feel? What did they think of me? Were they into me or not? And I feel like they think of you as someone who has so many different options. Like you could date whoever you wanted. So I feel like the last time they interacted with you, a lot of their thoughts actually were about themselves, and kind of like that self-conscious feeling you get when you're really trying to impress someone and you're not even really thinking about like, well, they did this and that was kind of awkward, or they looked this way, or they seemed stressed. You're more thinking about yourself and like, okay, did I say that? Did my breath smell okay? Why did I say that? And okay, that outfit, maybe I should have worn something else. Oh my gosh, that story wasn't as funny as I thought it was going to be. I should never have told it. You know what I mean? Like they're in that self-conscious mode, where they're kind of weighing themselves next to you. And I feel like they definitely want to come across to you as very competent, like they have their ish together, like they are a good partner to date. And they're someone that definitely wants to impress you, but I feel like they are very much in suspense, or in, they just don't know like, how does pile 2 think of me? What does pile 2 like about me? Does pile 2 like me? Do they think of me as cool? Do they think of me as a loser? Do they think of me as a good option, or just like someone they would never date? I don't feel like you gave away very much. I don't feel like you were very open about your intentions towards them. So they may not even know if you think of them in a romantic sense. If this was like a friend or at a flirtation or a situationship, I feel like in a way this person may have never thought that you really cared or that you were super attracted to them. They may have felt like it was strictly platonic, or if it was a hookup, that you were just hooking up with them but you had no emotion towards them. I feel like you played a lot of things close to the vest, so they definitely wonder a lot about how you actually feel towards them and what your feelings are deep down. So a lot of their focus was on themselves, and we can see that we got all these Prince cards and Knight cards. And so I feel like for them, a lot of their internal monologue was more about like, what did I say? How did I come across? Do they think I'm cool? Do they think I'm lame? and hoping that they impressed you, and kind of like replaying your interactions and being like, okay, she seemed cool with this, but then when I mentioned that, she seemed kind of tuned out. I shouldn't have said that, but then I said this and that was cool. Like, they're just replaying the interaction and kind of like taking stock of themselves more so than noticing you, other than thinking, wow, pile two is amazing and they're so attractive and they're really sexy and I'm really into them. I do feel like this person was really into you. I feel like this person is really into you, but to be honest, they also do think of you as way outside of their league. So it's almost like they're not letting themselves go there as much. You know how like if you find out that there's a job that's paying like a really good salary, like I don't know, 3 million a year, but you just assume like you're like, right, but it's probably for another CEO, or it's probably for someone who graduated from Harvard and I work at McDonald's. So I'm not really going to stress out about this $3 million job and think about like, oh, I should apply and I hope I do a good job in my interview with them, because you're like, I'm never getting an interview and I'm not even going to think about it, because it's not on my radar. Like, I feel like this person really likes you and respects you, but it's in a way they're just like not even thinking of you as a possibility for them long term. I could even see some of the people in this pile, like maybe this person is younger than you or a lot older than you, and there's like that is affecting things, like them being like, oh yeah, like someone like that much older than me would never be impressed by me because I'm too young and I'm like a kid to them, or not like a kid, but like they're just much more mature than me and I look like a immature baby in comparison, or vice versa. Like, oh, I'm so much older than them, they probably wouldn't want to date me, they probably want to date someone their own age and have fun with someone who's young, and I just look like an oldie to them. There may be that vibe of like, why this person has no interest in me, so it is what it is. Yeah, I think they're beautiful, but I'm not gonna like obsess, because what's the point? So let me get some song cards. I'm gonna pull them off camera, but trust and believe I'm not like picking specific songs, I promise. So let's see what this is. Making out, no doubt. Definitely this person is very attracted to you physically. They think of you as very sexy, very attractive. Every Little Kiss, Bruce Hornsby. I mean, lots of songs about kissing, so they probably really did want to kiss you, and again, very drawn to you physically. Harmony Hall, Vampire Weekend, and Lies, Marina. Okay. Honey and I, Chaim. How did the pile two's person feel about them the last time they saw them? Criminal, Britney Spears, and All Is Full of Love, Bjork. And one more. Wouldn't it be nice? The Beach Boys. Okay, so it's interesting that we have Lies by Marina and Criminal, Britney Spears, because those are two of the songs that kind of, I don't know, remind me of the Seven of Swords, or kind of like deceptive energy. So there may have been this person not lying a little, but maybe cloaking the truth or cushioning the truth, or trying to pass things off as better than they are in order to impress you. I feel like this person, again, very attracted to you. The first two cards we got are about kissing. So I feel like this person definitely wanted that physical connection with you, definitely was drawn to you on a physical level and thought of you as really, really attractive. And I feel like for them, the only thing is that they don't feel super confident with who they are. And whenever that can happen, that person may not be the best partner for a relationship, because they may be someone that cares about clout and cares about their reputation and cares about what other people think. So if, they get the opportunity to hook up with like the hot Instagram model girl and all their boys would congratulate them, then they may sign up for that. Or if they get the opportunity to, hook up with the hottest dude in the bar who's super sexy, they may do that to impress their girlfriends. You know what I mean? So it could be that person that sometimes is a little immature, or just very status conscious to the point where they could be easily influenced or brought in to do something that they may regret later. But I do feel like this person I do feel like this person, in a way, like if they are lying, they may do it because, again, they think of you as outside of their league. They think of you as better than them. They think of you as someone who is kind of like on a higher level status than them. And I feel like if they really knew that you were like watching a pick a card about them, they would be like completely shocked. They would be like, what? Are you kidding me? They probably wouldn't be able to believe it because I think they think of you as so outside their league and so attractive that it wouldn't even enter their mind as like being in the realm of possibility. Yeah, I want to get some tarot though, so let's get more tarot from this deck. So we also got Harmony Hall, Vampire Weekend. That's kind of about like how the world can be really cruel. So in a way, their conversation with you may have felt like they really were able to open up, or, well, although I don't know if I get that vibe. They may have felt like you were a genuinely nice person, or you kind of went out of your way to be kind, or maybe they even felt like you were just being kind, like you were being nice and talking to them, but you weren't doing it from a place of like, oh, I'm so into this person, but just like you're a nice person, so of course you're going to talk to people. The Queen of Pentacles, we got the Two of Wands, the Page of Cups, okay, more of these like younger suit cup cards, just like the Knight of Cups, the Judgment card reversed, Three of Cups. See, this is that's what I was already kind of picking up on and thinking, oh, the King of Wands, uh-oh, Spirit's calling them out a little. And the Knight of Swords. And finally, this one flew across, oh, the Queen of Wands coming out underneath the King of Wands. Yeah, so, okay, so this is kind of what I was picking up on a little bit, but hoping I was maybe wrong. But with so many, like the Knight of Cups, the King of Wands, the Queen of Wands, the Three of Cups, it's just making me think that this person, you know, they may be in that mindset of like short-term flings, or kind of like saying whatever they have to say in order to get someone into bed, or saying whatever they have to say to impress someone, but they don't really intend for anything long term. They may be in that short term thinking. And again, I think sometimes this comes from, well, sometimes people just go through phases, but it can also come through like a scarcity mindset, like thinking that, you know, I have to impress people, so I have to hook up with as many girls as possible, or I have to impress people, so I have to date dudes who have a lot of money, or whatever, you know, kind of like thinking that, you know, what matters the most is other people's opinions, or what matters the most is that kind of status in the eyes of others. And I feel like this person may be in a little bit of that mode. Like they do think you're super attractive, but they also may be primarily focused on like short-term flings, or just their lower chakras, their you know, root chakra, where they're kind of focused on their sexuality more, and that kind of interaction. And of course, all the chakras are important, so it's not to negate the root chakra. But if you're trying to date and have a relationship with someone and they are purely focused on short-term flings and pleasures, then that can definitely not be good. I'm not saying that's the case for everyone. Of course, listen to your intuition and take what resonates and leave the rest. But yeah, this person could be dating multiple people because we got the Three of Cups. And so this person could be kind of like the charmer. We got the Page of Cups, we got the Knight of Cups. That can definitely be an energy that is super charming and is really romantic, seems really romantic, but is kind of like losing interest quickly. So that's the Knight of Water and the Page of Water, and water signs can be really charming, really dreamy, really romantic. But if they're in that Knight Page energy, it may be a love them and leave them, not a solid type, like the, you know, Pisces that can be really sweet to you and then ghost you. I think that's why people get mad at Pisces men, and they have a bad reputation. But not all Pisces are like that. Hashtag not all Pisces. But But, you know, it is an element of the cups or the water that can be, yeah, the charming energy, but with no intention of like longevity, and just kind of like the tide streaming along through the river, you know? So like I'll be charming you, and then I'll charm this person, I'll charm that person. So with this person, they may be that person that loves to turn on the charm, loves to have conversation, loves to talk to people and have a good time, but the intention for like longevity and for locking it down and for solid, like I want to make things permanent with you, is not necessarily there. And the King of Wands, the Queen of Wands, their primary interest in you may definitely be your appearance, your sexuality, that beautiful energy you exude when it comes to that kind of plutonic Martian area of your chart, the fact that you have a beautiful energy in that sector. But it's not necessarily that that's this person's only interest. Again, this is where I feel like you really need to take what resonates and leave the rest in a reading, because I feel like there's there's multiple sides of this reading. There's the person that's very intimidated by you. Maybe they are thinking primarily about sex, and that may be their interest in you, but it doesn't mean that that's the only thing they're going to think of. Sometimes people also can be seeking out sex, but what it is deep down is a craving for connection, and they may not feel brave enough to admit that I'm really lonely and I just want my soulmate. So instead they say like, yeah, I'm trying to get laid, because they think that sounds cooler, you know? So I'm not saying that's this person's only interest in you, but I am saying that it could be an energy you want to be cautious of, because if that's really where their head's at and they're just thinking of short term, or they're not really wanting to settle, or they're like, a relationship with pile number two, well, I mean, I'd love that, but I'm not capable of that. I can't be a good partner. They may even be comparing themselves to you because you're the Queen of Pentacles. They may think that you're financially out of their league, or that whatever you would demand or expect from a partner, they can't provide. They can't do that for you. They're not good enough to bring that to the table. So it's kind of like, well, I'll take the short-term fling then. I mean, I'm down for that, but anything more that requires a lot of labor from me, like, no, I can't. It may be a self-worth issue, but of course you want to take what you want from this and pay attention to what you want out of the relationship. And if you're wanting something long-term and emotional and really connected on a soul level, then you may not want a short-term fling, and you want to pay attention to your heart, what you want, primarily more than what someone else wants from you. And so for you guys, I feel like this person is into you. They really like you. They're intimidated, but I also would say just use caution and your own discretion with this, because you don't, if you're looking for something serious, I just don't know if this person's at that place in their life, you know? But I don't think they have bad intentions towards you. I just think that feels like they're still developing as a person, I guess. Let's get some of these cards. How was pile two's person feeling the last time they saw pile two? How was pile two's person feeling the last time they saw pile number two? Okay, this one says conscious steps, considered action, looking forward. But I love how beautiful this woman looks. Like, look at this dress, her skin, beautiful, pale, like, you know, soft looking skin, and her hair. She just looks stunning. She has beautiful makeup on. I feel like they really were admiring you and thinking of you as quite beautiful the last time y'all interacted. They were thinking of you as someone who was very physically stunning and kind of took their breath away in that sense. And they're very drawn to you. I almost feel like I just heard out of my pay, out of my pay range. I used to say that at my job whenever they would ask me about something and that I like couldn't do, or that was unpleasant. I used to say, oh, that's out of my pay grade. I don't have access to that, which was the truth. But I remember I told my coworker that once, and he thought it was like the most brilliant thing ever. And he started using it all the time. And he just constantly tell like the customers, it's out of my pay grade. And yeah, and because it's like a humble way of saying like, no, I can't do that for you, but it's not, it kind of like puts yourself down, so it kind of like appeases, instead of telling a customer like, oh, I can't tell you that, or I'm not going to tell you that, or no, I can't do that. No, I won't do that. And you can say, oh, that's out of my pay grade. I don't have access to that. Anyway, that's what I'm hearing in my mind. I feel like this person thinks of you as like above them and they can't access you the way they would like, you know? So they're like, yeah, they're like, oh, they're out of my budget or they're out of my salary range or I can't, yeah, I can't have someone like that. Like they're too good for me. Look at them. They are this beautiful lady on the Conscious Steps card. She really looks like she's ready to go to a ball or something fancy. Let's get some more cards for pile number 2 for how does pile 2's person think of them? Okay, we got journey guide, travel, change, and location. Again, that's kind of the same vibe. They may be thinking of you as someone who's always on to the next, who has a million things going on in their life, who's booked and busy and, you know, has a lot happening and kind of like, I don't think pile 2 would even want me, but if they are, I'm down. But I don't think they think of you as like, you're slobbering over them. So if that is one, you know, if you were hurt by like, oh wait, so they just want a short-term fling, again, that may be where their mindset is in general. It's not a reflection of you, but it also may be, you know, they have no idea that you even like them. Like I feel like they think of you as so outside of their league that it wouldn't even occur to them that you were like even wondering about them. We also got past life guides, karmic lessons, present assistance. Oh, that's too many cards. So let me shuffle one more. We don't need 7 cards. We just need 1. Okay, we got 2 cards. We got connections, partnership, contract, commitment, and Archangel Raziel, wisdom, inspiration, Akashic records. I think they do think of you as very wise, very almost like more mature than them. Like they feel or see themselves as very immature and just not on your level. And I feel like they think of you as someone who's on a higher pedestal. I do feel like they feel very drawn to you. They do feel that spark, but they may also even be engaging in like self-sabotage and kind of like why would I even try for someone like pile 2? Because the people I'm used to being with are like random hookups and jump offs and just not to be rude because, you know, it's just a term, but not, I don't mean that in a degrading way, but you know, like just a short-term fling. Like the people I'm used to dealing with are not on pile 2's level, and pile 2 seems much more serious. Pile 2 seems more grown up in some way or more adult or mature or more their life together, and I'm a mess in comparison. So why would they want me? Like, come on. And so I feel like this attitude this person has is very pre-existing to interacting with you. It's not like they met you and they were like, oh yeah, only hook up with them. It's like they may only be hooking up and then they meet you and they're like, wow, but pile 2 is freaking amazing. But then they're kind of like, yeah, but that's why they wouldn't want me. So I'm not going to think about them too much. Or I'm not going to, I do think they think of you, but I'm not going to like obsess over this situation. But I do feel like they do really like you and think you're very attractive. Let's get some Astro dice for pile number 2. So we got the 9th house, Sagittarius. And then we have Mercury, which rules over Gemini and Virgo. And then we have Libra. So just want to point out, we got some of the biggest players in the zodiac, okay? Because we're going to call out these placements. Libra, Sag, Gemini, Virgo, you're exempted from this. But Libra, Sag, and Gemini can definitely be huge players, okay? So, you know, someone with a Libra Mars, a Venus Gemini, yeah, Venus Sag, I don't know. I'm not saying they're all players. They're definitely not. There's definitely loyal people with those placements. But it can be, combined with the other placements, a sign that they're not going to cry over one person in particular, pretty much. I mean, they may cry over one person in particular, but their usual MO is like, on to the next. You know, they may get bored easily. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that energy, but sometimes when you're on the receiving end of it, it can be like WTF. So again, we love these placements. I'm not attacking anyone. I have a Venus Aries, so if anyone can relate, it would be me. But I will say that, yeah, it's just you might not, if you're looking for something really, really serious, this person, you know, with someone with these placements can totally be open to it. But you know, when there's a lot of this energy and it's all you're getting and it's all very kind of mutable and charming and like because this is the thing is all these signs are really charming. They can get a lot of partners. They can charm anyone. I mean, a Libra placement, a Gemini placement, they're great with their words. Sagittarius has that fun, exciting vibe around them. So you just want to make sure that, you know, if you really want something really solid, that you feel that energy and that reciprocation and it's a genuine thing, because of course all these signs are capable of that deep love, but they're not going to just direct it towards anyone. They may even be a little choosier because they have so many options. So yeah, so don't be mad at me if you have those placements. I'm not attacking you. And again, I'm Venus Aries, so if anyone can get attacked for that, it's definitely myself. And you know, so I'm not judging at all. But we got Libra. So again, Libras are such charmers. They are a really beautiful placement and tend to be great flirts, great charmers. They have a lot of beauty around them. This could also be, again, this physical beauty that I'm picking up on from you, where they see you as incredibly physically beautiful and are just drawn to you and see you as very graceful. Also, Libras are very put together and they tend to be well-spoken. They're diplomats. Natural diplomats, so they're great with their words and they really never like usually make a misstep or say something crazy awkward or really rude to some, like they just don't really do that. So they're very well behaved and you could feel confident taking them out to like a function with you and meeting your boss or your family. And they're very put together in that sense. So again, I feel like they see you as very put together and like you just have your life in order. And that's where I think they kind of are like, where would I even fit in? Like, why would they want me? Then we have the ninth house, Sagittarius. That could also be your energy or this person's energy, because the ninth house is a house of travel. It's a house of new adventures, exploring, higher education. Maybe there could even be a difference in education between y'all, but also it can be that energy of someone that is always on to the next. They have a very vivid life. They have a very full life. They love to explore. They love to learn. They love to try new things. So that could be your energy. And again, that booked and busy energy I keep getting around you, where they feel like you probably have a million and one fun things going on and you would never even notice them. It could also be their energy, because that thirst for adventure that a lot of Sagittarians have can make them not really want to settle down with one person in particular, but kind of have a abundant attitude towards the universe. So they're like, hey, this person's great and that person's great and let me meet that person. And they don't really want to be tied down. Of course, all signs are capable of deep monogamy and all signs are capable of, you know, being in a hookup mode or whatever you want to call it. You know, yeah, no judgment, being in a freedom mode, let me call it that. But I think that it just, with all these energies combined, I don't know, take what resonates for you, but it does seem like they just might be in that place where they're going out and having fun and exploring, and they really think of you as outside their league anyway, so they're not even thinking of you as an option for them to settle down with. Then we have Mercury, and Mercury loves to learn, explore. I'm getting that Gemini energy coming through, which Mercury rules over, and so Mercury is very playful. I feel like they enjoyed talking to you. I feel like they had a really good time. They felt like the conversation was on point. I think they think of you as very smart. Mercury is a very intelligent energy. So overall, I think they were very impressed by you. They do really like you. I just hope they're in that place of being willing and wanting to settle down instead of just thinking of it as I'm only doing anything short term. If you guys are wanting something serious with them, I don't even think they are aware that you like them. I don't even think they think of you as an option. I think they think of you as you have 20,000 other better suitors at your disposal. So why would you even think of them? But yeah, I feel like they were very attracted to you last time and they're very excited by you in general. But I don't know, their energy also doesn't seem that stable to me. So that's what I have for you, pile 2. I really hope it resonates. If it does, let me know down in the comments. I always love reading what you have to say, your thoughts, your stories, especially when it comes to these love readings. So let me know. Also, make sure to give this reading a thumbs up, hit the like button, and subscribe. That really helps the channel. And if you want to see more of my content, head on over to my Patreon. I just posted a reading all about your money and financial situation. And before that, all about your karma that you've carried with with you from past lives. We go into your past lives and what happened in them. But there's a lot of content over on Patreon. You'll get access to over 80 exclusive readings you'll only find on Patreon. You also get early and ad-free access to all my YouTube videos. They get posted over there first. So if that sounds good to you and you're interested in signing up, then head to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments and the description and join me on Patreon. Also, if you would like to get a private one-on-one session with me, you can get that at my website, briarrosetarot.com. And whether you just want me to open channel, kind of see what comes through, get messages from your guides and your angels, your ancestors, and your team, and just see what they have to say to you and keep it open-ended, we can do that. Or if you have one specific question or a couple specific questions you want to get down to, we can do it that way as well. So you get to choose kind of how we approach the session. And if you're interested in signing up, then go to my website, briarrosetarot.com, and the link for that is in my description. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm sending you so much love and light, and I'll be back again very soon with another reading. Take care, guys. Bye. Hey, Pile 3, welcome to your reading. Let's get into your cards. We want to see what Pile 3's person was thinking the last time they saw Pile 3. So we got the wheel. The Three of Pentacles reversed. Eight of Cups reversed. It almost feels like there was a power struggle happening. Ten of Wands. What was Pile 3's person thinking the last time they saw Pile 3? The Hermit. Okay. And the Ace of Wands. Okay. So what I was saying is it kind of feels to me like there was a power struggle. Like, in a way, this person may have been kind of concerned with their own power or standing with you. Like, I feel like in a way, I don't know if they're stubborn or they didn't want to budge or they were very worried about who had the upper hand in the relationship, who was the one with the power. I almost feel like this person didn't want to let you know how much they cared about you. And the last time they interacted with you, this may have been at the forefront of their mind, like this kind of concern with, I hope they don't know how much I like them. I hope they don't know how much I care. And there may even be a little bit of a disagreeable side to this person where they're not the best at compromising. We did get the Hermit. That could be a low vibrational element of the Hermit, is kind of like that. Well, I'm fine doing it alone. I'll just be alone. I don't care. Because yeah, it feels like this person sometimes has a hard time really like opening up and admitting that they need the other person or admitting that they care, you know? So they may prefer to take a stance that's kind of very independent or very refusing to give in, refusing to compromise. I don't know if you can hear, by the way, it is thundering outside, but I love doing readings in the rain, so I don't mind. But yeah, I feel like this person, they may have been very concerned the last time you interacted with them with also seeming like intelligent. We got the Wheel, which relates to Sagittarius energy. We also have the Hermit, which relates to Virgo energy. Both of those are very intelligent energies, very wise energies. The Sagittarius energy loves to think deeply about things and philosophize, literally rules over higher education. And then we have Virgo, which is also extremely intelligent, ruled by Mercury. The sign of thinking and intelligence. So yeah, I feel like this person wanted to make sure the last time you interacted, like that you thought of them as smart, that you thought of them as intelligent. And there may be a part of them that kind of approaches relationships in that way, like a little bit oppositional or a little bit, I want to make sure I come off good. I want to make sure that I come off like the smart one or like the cool one or whatever. Because I do feel like this person could be a little bit of a game player, kind of like they are the type to walk away if it's not going their way, or if you don't text them, they're not going to be the one to text you. They're not going to be the one to pour out their feelings and be like, I really miss you and I've been thinking about you, because they're very aware of like who has the power, who doesn't. With the Three of Pentacles, Pentacles reversed. They may not want to like cooperate and just get along. They may be wanting to be the one who has some kind of higher position. I wouldn't even be surprised for some of these people if they use words like simp, you know, and they're afraid to be the one to simp. They're afraid to be the one who looks weak or looks vulnerable. Yeah, I feel like with them, they definitely were into you, but it's almost like they're very cautious and they don't want to like seem like a simp. They don't want to seem vulnerable or desperate or pathetic. And they may have read a lot of books about how to be like cool in a relationship or how to be um, the one who has the power in the relationship, how to be the one who gets pursued, not pursues. You know what I mean? Like I feel like they kind of they're in the relationship, but they're also like self-conscious and perceiving things from this kind of intellectual, dispassionate place. Like they're not fully letting their emotions take over the way you often do in a romantic relationship. They're kind of keeping their emotions at bay and looking at things from a very like intellectual, okay, what did they say to me? What does that mean? Kind of perspective, if that makes sense. So, yeah, I feel like for them, they may seem also like the type to walk away at the drop of a hat with the Eight of Cups reversed. Or they may seem like they really don't care. Although, with the Eight of Cups being reversed, they may think they're trying to walk away or act like they're walking away, but deep down inside, it's not so easy and they still are going to be thinking of you. I feel like this person definitely wants to give you the impression of being someone who like has lots of options, is going places, doing things with the Wheel of Fortune card. Again, that connection to Sagittarius, which is all about exploration and being bold and going out into the world. And to the certain extent, the Hermit as well, kind of that exploratory, like, you know, because the Hermit has similarities to the Fool card. So it's kind of a, I'm taking on a new challenge. I have this exciting life. I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm expanding. But I feel like they really wanted you to think that of them, like almost for you to regret. I don't know if the last time you saw them, you all got into an argument or it was just unpleasant. I feel like there was a lot of things left unsaid from this person. Like if they were truly honest, they would have said a lot more. But I also feel like maybe they have some trauma in the past where like they overgave in a relationship or they felt like an idiot because they confessed love to someone and that person didn't reciprocate or something. But I do feel like this person is very watchful and kind of protective of themselves and not wanting to be the one to pour their heart out and look like an idiot. So they're very protective of themselves and kind of mindful of what do I say? What did I say? Making sure that I look not like a simp, not pathetic. Yeah, I feel like that really weighs on them. So they may have even had like an oppositional or angry attitude towards you, even if, especially if like, to be honest, I know this is weird to say, but like if they never got to sleep with you, I feel like this person may resent that. We do have the Ace of Wands, which can definitely indicate an interest in sleeping with someone, to put it nicely. And so they may resent the fact, especially if like you wouldn't sleep with them or you never did sleep with them or whatever. I don't know. There may be resentment around that, almost like this person feeling like you deceived them or you tricked them or you made them simp and they wouldn't usually, like, I don't know. It's weird. But yeah, I feel like I'm not gonna lie, I feel like they are a little immature in how they approach things. So the last time they saw you, I feel like they did think you were attractive, as always. They definitely are attracted to you, but then there's also the fact that they kind of resent that at the same time because they think you're attractive, but then they also kind of have that attitude of like, yeah, and they know they're attractive and they use that. And, you know, they were never into me anyway, and they pretended to be into me or something like that. Like it feels very kind of like it's easier to blame you than take responsibility for themselves and their actions. So, yeah, let me get some song cards and I'm gonna pull these not on camera, off camera, but I promise I'm not like picking specific songs or something for some narrative. So, we got Call It What You Want, Taylor Swift, okay? This one says Making Out, No Doubt, okay? Selfish, Britney Spears. Hypnotize, Fleetwood Mac. And we got two. This one is Wildflower by Beach House, and My Favorite Mistake, Sheryl Crow. Okay, I think you can probably hear the thunder and lightning now. It's pretty loud, so hopefully that won't be too distracting. Let me get one more. This one is Harmony Hall, Vampire Weekend. So what's sticking out to me is this Hypnotize Fleetwood Mac song. Where, if you know the lore of Fleetwood Mac, you know that like Stevie and Lindsay had a relationship early on, and then they both wrote love songs about each other, and angry songs and love songs and breakup songs, and they have this kind of whole saga with their relationship. And so I feel like Hypnotize kind of talks about how when you're really into someone, you are hypnotized. You may even blame that person and feel like, oh my God, they hypnotized me. Like they tricked me. They lied to me. They said they were into me and they weren't, or they made me do things I wouldn't normally do. And I almost feel like this person may resent you because maybe they feel like they acted out of character. Like maybe they feel like how they treated you is not how they would normally act, or they may feel embarrassed in retrospect because they felt like they overgave to the relationship or told you too much or were too open and honest with you, and like it's kind of embarrassing in retrospect, like almost like that feeling I'm getting where when you tell someone too much, you overshare at like a party and you end up like telling all about your past relationship or something, and the person's like, oh, and then the next day you're like, why did I freaking tell that person at the party that I don't even know about my breakup, like why did I go into that? And I was just fiddling with it, and I pulled Sweet Talkin' Woman Electric Light Orchestra, which I also feel like is perfect, so I'm going to use that as well. Perfect for this energy. But yeah, I feel like it's almost like you can't stay away though. You really like the person, you're very into them, but you're very also almost resentful of this effect they had on you or who you turned into when you were around them. And it's almost like it's easier to blame that person, and it's easier to say, oh, they made me do something, or it's their fault, or they tricked me, than it is to be like, yeah, I chose to do that, and that was my actions, and it was my fault, and I honestly really like them, and I'm vulnerable to them. I feel like this person has a hard time feeling vulnerable. That's like a really sore spot for that person, is like they don't want to seem or look like a loser. They may have, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if this person has read a lot or watched YouTube or listened to podcasts or something about people who, say that in a relationship, you have to, you kind of have to play games. You have to not show emotion. And whoever texts first has less power. And whoever, double text is a total loser. And so they kind of have this transactional or like power structure view of a relationship where they're not going to look like the one on the bottom. And I feel like they really pay attention to that, and they kind of feel like they gave too much to you and that they've overplayed their hand. Like, how much they care about you. You can see their weakness, and they do see it as a weakness. I love that we got Sweet Talkin' Woman by Electric Light Orchestra, because that song, the lyrics are Sweet Talkin' Woman, and it's all about, I guess, what I think it's about is, one of those charming women that can talk a guy into doing anything, just like there's charming men who can do the same. And so they may see you as that, like, oh, look at pile number 3. They have all this charisma and they used it against me. They convinced me, or they acted blah, blah, blah. But really, they didn't feel that way. And they're a sweet talker or a sweet actor. How maybe you think someone's so beautiful, and so they make you do because you're so attracted to them, you wouldn't normally act a certain way, but because you're so attracted, you find yourself acting out of character. Like, that's giving the vibe to me. So I feel like the last time they saw you, yes, they were very appreciating your beauty, but there's also that part of them that thinks you're cold. I'm hearing, oh my gosh, that's so funny. I was hearing this lyric, and it's from this song, Harmony Hall. I think it's from this song, or it's from another song on the album. But anyway, the lyric is like callous and cold and just unbearable. And I feel like for you guys, maybe they cast you as being a little cold or a little mean or selfish. Like pile number 3, they tricked me, they trick men, or they trick women, or they're a player and they know what they're doing. So there is a little bit of resentment coming through and a little bit of anger. I'm not gonna lie, a little bit of like blaming you and saying it was your fault. And I feel like in a way this person probably isn't super emotionally mature, so they just have an easier time dealing with the end of a relationship by coping and saying that, you know, it was all you and they had no part in it. They were just an innocent angel and you ruined it and that kind of a thing. Let me get some more tarot though. It's getting really dark, by the way, because it is like there's so much rain all of a sudden. There's so many rain clouds. But hopefully we can still see the cards and everything. And there's lightning too. So let's get into what pile number 3's person was thinking the last time they saw pile number 3. So we got the World, okay? They may also think of you as stubborn, since the World's card has all the fixed signs on it. They may think of you as very stubborn. The Page of Pentacles, they may think of you as shallow. That, yeah. Or you only care about money. We got the Three of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles. Oh my gosh, yeah. They definitely may cast you as like, oh, they're so bougie. All they care about is money. All they care about is themselves, that kind of a thing. The Five of Swords, okay. Yeah, I feel like this person feels like it was a loss. And the Five of Swords is kind of a battle energy as well. So they may really feel like they lost, and the 5 is usually a loss. So they may really feel like you kind of outdid them or beat them at their own game or whatever. The Devil, I mean, need we continue going on? Like, these are the King of Pentacles, okay? And the Justice card. Yeah, they feel really wronged by you, pile number 3. There's anger and resentment. And you know, sometimes when someone's feeling this strongly, like, to be honest, and it really is thundering so loud and lightning, like, I'm like, I don't even know if I should continue filming because I don't know how distracting it is. But anyway, it's very appropriate for you guys. Like, the thunder and the lightning started pouring down rain when we tuned into this person's energy. Not saying I'm controlling the energy of this city, but you know, I don't know. It's a weird synchronicity. So yeah, I feel like this person, like, they were very passionate about you. It's almost giving like Wuthering Heights, and like when you like someone so much, so you also resent them, because what do they say? Like, the opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference. And when you care this much, even if it's in a negative way, when you feel this bitter about something, obviously you had strong feelings towards them. Obviously they brought something out of you that is pretty deep, because if you truly just didn't care at all, you wouldn't be this mad. And I feel like this person, maybe they do, you know, feel like you deserve some kind of karmic comeuppance, or maybe they do tell themselves narratives about how you tricked them or you lied or you're bad in relationships and it's all your fault and you're shallow and you're toxic. I feel like the last time this person interacted with you, it's almost like they did appreciate your physical beauty and how gorgeous you look. But then there's also that part of them that, again, is trying to keep this at bay and may not even be willing to fully acknowledge how attracted they were to you. They may notice that physically, but then like deny themselves, like be like, well, yeah, I mean, they looked okay, you know, or like, I mean, they looked fine, but they're not that cute, or something like that. You know, like, I feel like this person has a hard time really admitting that they were as drawn to you as they were, and the kind of power and hold you had over them where they felt like they kind of couldn't stay away from you. They are a little bit ashamed of that even in themselves. So while they acknowledge that you're attractive, I also feel like they don't want to fully acknowledge and think it over and like rhapsodize about it, because it's almost like they could fall into a hole of just being like, oh my God, yeah, they're beautiful, and they don't want to reach that point. So they acknowledge it, but I'm not gonna lie, I could see this being toxic, and that's a lot of lightning. And really kind of swirling into a ball in their mind of resentment and of anger, and it could be like a toxic vibe between you guys where this person isn't the best person that you, I would say, well, try approaching them and talk it out, because it does feel like some of their anger is very intense. It depends, of course, take what resonates and leave the rest. But I feel like this person felt kind of very hurt and very ashamed about themselves and about how they acted. They really are hard on themselves with thinking that they kind of acted like an idiot around you, and that they acted like a simp, and that they gave you everything and you threw it away, and that you don't actually want them, and that they are desperate for you and you couldn't care less about them. So yeah, I feel like they have an interpretation of what happened that kind of pins most of the blame on you, and maybe that's just their psychological cope, because it's easier to pretend like it's all your fault than to admit that they played a part and that, they made a lot of mistakes as well. So, yeah, not, like I said, not the most mature energy. And I feel like this person, they may even react to this by like dating around or claiming that they only cared about you for sex, or claiming that your relationship didn't mean that much to them and wasn't that deep, because I feel like they have an easier time creating that narrative or casting it like they weren't so invested, because I feel like they genuinely are embarrassed about how much they liked you. And there is this sense that you would have rejected them, or you would have put them to the side. So they're never gonna like actually tell you how they feel, because they assume you wouldn't be interested anyway. And also maybe this sense that you're like on to the next. Like maybe that Sagittarius energy could be you as well, where they feel like you're constantly dating, or you have a lot of suitors, you have a lot of options, and you're not really checking for them like that. You're not really sticking around to be with them because you have like a roster of other dates or other people who are interested in you romantically. And I feel like this person does resent that. So let's get into some of these cards. For pile number 3, we want to know what pile 3's person was thinking the last time they interacted with pile number 3. What was pile 3's person thinking the last time they interacted with pile number 3? So we got achievement, completion, reward, kinship, community, your group. So they may have been very aware of how this was going to be perceived by others and the perception they had within a larger social group. If you were a member or are a member of a social group with this person, and y'all are in the same friend group, or you work at the same job, or whatever the case may be, I feel like this person worries about that perception of others. It may have been that even if you're not in the same group as them, like maybe they told all their friends about you or something. Wow, there's a lot of thunder and wind. Maybe I really feel like it's the perfect weather for their mood, because they just seem so stormy. But anyway, we're going to try to finish the reading. I feel like maybe they had told all their friends about you or something. They had mentioned it to people that they liked you, and now they took an L, that now they have to go around and tell all their friends, like, yeah, pile 3 isn't really that into me, or yeah, the things ended, and yeah, we're not together anymore, whatever. I feel like this person is very worried about the perception that others have of them and about their status in the larger social group and your connection with that. So somehow you influencing how others view them. Maybe they are really afraid of being seen as a simp in their group, because maybe they belong to a group that would like make fun of them for that or something. I feel like they are very kind of status conscious. We got the achievement, completion, reward card. So I feel like for them, they worry about like ticking off certain boxes and seeming to have certain successes, and being desperate for some chick that doesn't like them back, or for some dude that doesn't like them back, is not on that list of achievements they want to have. Then we have Archangel Raziel, and they really may have put you up on a bit of a pedestal. I feel like there was a time when y'all first met that they felt so deeply connected to you. They really were like enraptured by you and thought of you as really smart, so beautiful, and just like this incredible gift. And I think that's why, like, for a while, I feel like some of them may have really thought that y'all could have like this really serious future, like you guys could date or end up married together or run off together. So it's been really hard, I think, in a way, transitioning from that into like I don't care about this person. It may have even been hard on them, like cutting their emotions off, pretending that they didn't care, pretending that they're not hurt. You know, I feel like they really don't want to seem hurt. They really don't want to wear this on their sleeve. They may have a hard time expressing hurt and have an easier time calling it anger and being like, no, I'm not mad. I'm just pit, or I'm not sad. I'm mad. You know, I'm not upset. I'm just angry because they're a jerk or something. Like, I feel like they don't like to feel vulnerable. That is a huge key part of their personality. And in a way, I feel like they felt so vulnerable with you because they liked you so much, because they could see a future with you, because they felt really drawn to you and connected, that's why they're taking it so hard. So it does feel like the last time y'all interacted, there may have been harsh words exchanged, or just this person, I could see them acting really cagey or acting really distant, or not wanting to be nice to you, and you being like, what the F is going on? This is so weird. And I feel like a lot of that bitterness is because they're like, I would have given you everything and I liked you so much and you don't care at all. But they're never going to tell you that. They're going to act like, why? Because I don't care. You know, that's a lot of it is like a performance. Let's get some more cards for pile number 3. How does pile number 3's person feel about them the last time they saw them? How did pile 3's person feel about them the last time they saw them? Conscious steps, considered action, looking forward, shamanic healer, cleansing, attunement, and journey guide, travel, change in location, and your eternal spirit, higher self, sacred intuition. So again, with this conscious steps, this woman just looks so beautiful on this card. She's got this gorgeous dress. Her skin is beautiful, luminous. She's got this long, luscious hair, and she just looks like a 10. And I really feel like this person did put you up on that pedestal and think of you as such a catch, such a winner, that they were so lucky to be with. And again, as that Sagittarius energy that's booked and busy and has a million things on their schedule and probably isn't, you know, checking for this person or desperate for them, they may think that you just have this huge friend group and you're always going out and you have like, you know, a million Instagram followers or lurkers, or everyone on your Instagram is like in love with you. You know what I mean? I feel like they definitely put you up on a pedestal, but then kind of resent you for being there. Let's get some astrology dice to see the astrological energies at play. Okay, so we got Aries, we got Venus, and we got the 6th house, which is Virgo. So obviously Venus is the planet of love, and I do feel like this person had deep feelings for you at one time or another. I feel like they did feel a deep connection to you, but again, then they resent you for bringing those feelings out in them. I feel like this person, it's almost like they may have an easier time just shutting down their emotions and pretending not to care than to be in that vulnerable place of connection that Venus is all about, being in that soft, open energy that Venus really exemplifies. Aries energy makes a lot of sense because Aries feels much more comfortable in the arena of fighting and war. Aries is the warrior, so they have a much easier time actually arguing or going at it or fighting or going after a challenge than to be like soft and warm and fuzzy and pouring out their heart and crying in front of someone. So I feel like this person just may have a hard time like trying to feel like really honest and trying to feel like they've told you everything and they've opened up all their secrets, and they may have a much easier time being kind of the tough one or being the one who is even arguing with you or being kind of mean to you or fighting you in some way. They may have an easier time with that. We also have 6th house Virgo energy, and Virgo can definitely kind of be that critical energy towards themselves. But often when they feel insecure, they may direct that towards others and kind of point to someone else's flaws instead of really doing that self-work and admitting that, you know, their emotions were in it in some way. They may just feel easier and better criticizing and telling the other person it was their fault or whatever. So yeah, I think this person, wow, that is really loud. I'm guessing you guys can hear that even after I do noise reduction. So I'll probably end the reading here, but that is basically a perfect synopsis of how this person feels. The thunder and the lightning, they're very intense towards you, and it's not always for the better. Of course, you want someone who cares about you, right? But this is, sometimes this shows, just like we might want a little rain, but too much can cause a storm. Like, I feel like this person's feelings for you, and storm is like heavy water, right? And it's like water is emotions and love in the tarot. So a little water is good, but too much water can be a horrible storm and a tsunami. So yeah, it's like, I feel like their feelings for you are strong, and they do care. But then there's that resentment, there's that anger, and kind of like low vibrational reaction to things that we don't really want to see so much. So yeah, it's kind of a combination. It's a very complex reaction coming from them. But yeah, that is what I have for you, pile number 3. I hope that resonates. I hope the storm wasn't too distracting, but it definitely fit the vibe for you guys. So yeah, maybe the whole storm is being caused by this person's energy. I don't know. Maybe we're influencing this whole city nearby, and sorry to them that spirit was like, ooh, we really need to set the mood music for this reading and just have thunder and lightning the whole time. But I hope it resonated, guys. If it did, let me know in the comments. I always love hearing from you, hearing your thoughts, your stories. So let me know. Also, make sure to give this reading a thumbs up, hit the like button, and subscribe. That really helps the channel. And if you would like to see more of my content, head on over to my Patreon. I just posted a reading all about your money and financial situation. And before that, a reading about your karma and your past lives and how that affects you now. But there are over 80 separate readings, special readings only for Patreon that you'll get access to as soon as you sign up. You also get early and ad-free access to all my YouTube videos. So they get posted over there first, and my Patreons get to be the first to view them. So if all that sounds good to you and you're interested in signing up, head to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments and the description and join me on Patreon. Also, if you'd like to get a private session with me, you can get that at my website, briarrosetarot.com. And whether you just want me to open channel and kind of see what comes through and keep things really open-ended, messages from your guides, angels, ancestors, just let them say whatever they want, or whether you have a specific question or a few specific questions you want to delve into, either one works. So you can book that session with me, like I said, at my website, briarrosetarot.com, and the link for that is in my description. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I feel like this is like an apocalyptic vibe for this reading. It got so intense about halfway through. But thanks for watching. Thanks for listening through the lightning and thunder, and I will see you very soon in another reading. Take care, guys. Bye. Hey pile 4, welcome to your reading. So let's get into your cards and see how your person was feeling the last time they saw you. So we got the 7 of Wands reversed, the Princess of Cups, aka the Page of Cups. This one is the Ace of Pentacles, and the Temperance card, the 9 of Swords reversed, and the 3 of Pentacles. So what I'm hearing in my mind is this song, Words I Couldn't Say by Leighton Meester, I guess is how you say her name. But I feel like there's so many things that this person kind of wanted to tell you, or their higher self would want you to know, but that they couldn't say. And I feel like the last time they talk to you, there may have even been a struggle for them, like wanting to say this stuff, wanting to communicate things to you, wanting you to know certain things, but not being sure of how to say it, or being afraid to say it and holding themselves back. I feel like this person has a feeling in a way that they failed. Like there's a lot of regret coming through, and a lot of like, I should have just done it. So I feel like when they think back to the last time they interacted with you, there is some regret and just wishing that they could do it differently, wishing that they'd been brave enough, I feel, to tell you certain things, to pour their heart out, to be honest. With the Princess of Cups, the Page of Cups, they may have felt very drawn to you emotionally and felt a spiritual connection with you, even maybe a past life connection with you. They may have felt like they could open up and tell you things that they didn't ever tell anyone else. And I feel like they also see you as someone who's very warm, compassionate, sweet, and loving. And talking to you for them is really a pleasure. They love to do it. They love to get to open up to you and be honest with you and spend time with you. That means so much to them. And I feel like they almost committed everything to memory, like all your little movements, all your likes and dislikes. And if you offhandedly mentioned you love a certain band or you like a certain type of, I don't know, ice cream flavor, I'm hearing rum raisin in my mind for some reason. But no matter how tiny the detail was, the point is that they remember it. And I feel like they commit a lot of the things you say to memory. But there is this like sense of like, I can't just, I wish I could be brave enough, and kind of like beating themselves up like, oh, you're such a baby, or you're such a coward, or why didn't you just say that? You know, why don't you just have the balls to do that? So I feel like this person honestly may be feeling really sad that they didn't go there with you, that they didn't say the things that their heart was really feeling. With the Seven of Wands being reversed, they may be comparing themselves to others around you and feeling like they don't measure up. So I feel like in a way, the last time they saw you, they may have even like amped themselves up beforehand. Like I'm seeing someone stare at themselves in the mirror and giving themselves like a pep talk. Like, okay, so you're going to say this, then you're going to ask her if she wants to go here, like, and, you know, trying to get themselves all jazzed up for it and all amped up and trying to talk themselves into what they should say and what they should do. And I feel like there's a sense of having fallen short or having not lived up to that. It's almost like they may have told themselves, okay, so this time you're going to ask her out, or this time you're going to ask him out. And then when they actually interacted with you, they couldn't do it and they chickened out and they ran away. I feel like for them, again, it's giving like a sense of bitterness and failure. And this may have even caused them to have a hit to their self-esteem where they don't feel like as much of a man, or they don't feel like as much of a woman, because they didn't do this and because they kind of failed in this mission. I feel like this person, you know, they really see you as very beautiful, but not just beautiful physically, but on the inside, emotionally and spiritually beautiful. They really felt this deep drawing is what I want to say. Like, I don't know, being drawn to someone, being magnetized, like being pulled into them. I feel like your energy was pulling to them and was calling them, and they kind of couldn't get you off their minds. But they also didn't want to seem like crazy and too intense by telling you all the ways they feel and how much they think of you. I feel like they thought that if they were to really tell you that you would be freaked out and you would be like not interested. They may even have that fear that if they come on too strong, or if they make their full intentions clear, that you would run away. So I feel like they kind of, like I said, chickened out, and then it's like too much time has passed. They may have even wanted to text you for a while afterwards, but then it was like one day passed. Okay, now it's awkward. It's been a few hours, and now it's been 2 days, and it's going to be really awkward, and now it's been a week. Now it's going to be really crazy if I text them. Oh my God, it's been a month. So yeah, I feel like it's almost like it spiraled like a, you know, rock rolling down a hill and gaining more and more momentum. It's almost like it got worse and worse and worse. And if they had just been brave enough at the moment to address things with you and to tell you whatever this is, then I feel like they could have handled it, but now it feels very much out of their control. I do feel like they had long-term intentions with you. We did get the Temperance card and the Three of Pentacles, so they really wanted to learn everything about you. They wanted to know all the little details, all your preferences, all your likes and dislikes, everything, your history, what you were like in childhood. They may even kind of like stalk your social media a little bit, you know, because I feel like they wanted to know it all. I feel like this person, though, because they are so in awe of you, we can see the Princess of Cups is kind of framed around, she's in the very center, and that's coming through kind of as your energy to me. She looks so beautiful on this card, especially with this beautiful orange auburn hair she has. She really does look like a goddess, and I feel like that's how they see you, as dreamy, mystical as well, because the Princess of Cups, of course, cups is water in tarot, and the cups represent spirituality, emotions, love. So she's a very powerful feminine archetype, and I feel like for you guys, this person really, you know, doesn't even know if they're worthy enough to deal with you. And the last time they may have interacted with you, this may have been playing on their mind, especially with the Seven of Wands. If they had any awareness or thought that you were talking to someone else or dealing with someone else, that idea of competition and having to compete for you, I feel like really kind of drives them crazy, because I'm hearing that song from the Yeah Yeah Yeahs, Maps, where she's like, wait, they don't love you like I love you. And I am also hearing they don't know you like I know you. So I feel like they felt a deep soul being drawn into you. This could have been a twin flame ex. I definitely feel like this could be a twin flame soulmate past life connection. And it's like the audacity of someone else, like, I've known this person for like 1,000 years, you know, that's what their soul is telling them. And they know that's not true for this lifetime, that like technically y'all just met, or technically you've only known each other for a few months, or you're just coworkers or just classmates or whatever, but deep down their soul is like, excuse me, we lived 5 other lifetimes together, like we went through the French Revolution War together, you know, like step away. You don't know them. But I feel like, you know, obviously they know they can't tell you that, and it's all in their subconscious, but they definitely felt really, really drawn to you, wanted something serious, wanted to be something serious to you. There is a sense that maybe they're a little worried that you don't feel as strongly about them. Like, I feel like they know that you're interested, like vaguely interested, like you're like, yeah, they're nice. Yeah, I'm interested, but they feel so strongly about you. And there's a sense that they think that they care much more about you than you care about them. And I feel like in a way that's maybe why they were quiet, is because they didn't want to scare you off. They didn't want to freak you out and have you just be like, oh my God, you're psychotic. I don't know you like that. What are you talking about? You want to get married? You know, like, I feel like if they really said what they were feeling, that they were definitely afraid that you would be running for the hills. So yeah, they may have spent a lot of sleepless nights rehashing this. We got the 9 of Swords reverse, and I just looked at my timer and it was 9:09, so double 9. And of course, 9s represent that kind of almost moment of completion. And I feel like that's definitely something this person feels, is almost like, I'm right there. I'm right there. It almost could have happened. I almost did it. And I know she feels something, or I know he feels something. I know that I could have made this happen on some level, but I bungled it, you know? Like I said, they know you had a sparkle of interest, like a pinprick of interest, but I definitely feel like they were afraid they felt more. And they kind of are aware, like, maybe they could have made it happen, but I feel like their fears really held them back. So I am going to pull some song cards, and I'm not going to show you guys, but I trust I am not like pulling deliberate cards. I promise. I promise. Okay, so we got Latch, Disclosure. Let's see. We got Trip to Your Heart, Britney Spears. This to me is like my ultimate love song. Like, I just think this is such a romantic song. And really, to me, sums up such a love vibe, like a deep soulmate, soul-to-soul connection vibe. I love that song. Then we got I Will, the Beatles. Alien Days, MGMT. Okay. Digital Love, Daft Punk. And Bruises, Chairlift. She's So Lovely, Beach House. And let's get one more. Bleed to love for Lindsay Buckingham. So yeah, I think this person really felt like super drawn to you. Again, she's so lovely. There's a lot of songs about how beautiful this person found you and how much they see you as almost like perfect. Like I feel like that could be another thing that's working against this connection, is because they put you on such a pedestal, because they think of you as so incredible, that it's kind of like, why would someone like that want me? Or they're so perfect that I can't even get close to them. Like I just don't have a chance. They won't want to be with someone like me. Also with alien days, again, I feel like there's this fear that other people might come in to destroy the relationship, or that other people are trying to get close to you. Again, I'm hearing that lyric, they don't know you, they don't love you like I love you, they don't know you like I know you. And I feel like for them, there is that strong sense that like what you guys had, it's almost like it feels like when y'all would talk, you'd be in your own little bubble and the rest of the world would disappear. And it was just so special. And I feel like this person, honestly, they're beating themselves up. They're not mad at you. They may be mad at some other people around you though, especially if you've like posted someone else on your Instagram, or you have been out with like, members of the opposite sex or the same sex, if whatever they're into, whatever you're into. But if there's any like romantic rivals around that they are aware of, they definitely aren't happy about that. And I feel like they may resent those people. And this person may feel a little bit like they have been through the ringer. We got bruises by chairlift. So they may really feel kind of like, wow, I got messed up by this whole relationship. This relationship really took it out of me, and I am now like I have damage. I've been really hurt, and this is so unfair. And I feel like they kind of, I don't think they resent you or they're mad at you, but I definitely do feel like this person thinks back to things and just thinks that the whole thing seems kind of a mess to them at this point. Like it's almost like they have a very defeated attitude, or a feeling of loss, or a feeling of pointlessness, because I don't feel like they see an opportunity for things to actually resolve and actually turn back into a good relationship. I feel like they just feel like that's it, it's over, and I need to take my L and move on. But kind of like there's no point. Why even try? Because clearly everything's too much of a disaster, too much time has passed. Yeah, I feel like they would love to text you. They may have typed out a million different texts and then like gone back and deleted them, or asked their friends like, okay, should I message her? Should I say something? Should I slide in the DMs? And then they don't do it. I feel like they definitely kind of, what their heart wants and then what they think they should do, or what they think is appropriate. Because again, I feel like they don't want to freak you out, are like two different things. So let me get into some tarot cards for pile number 4. You want to see how pile 4's person felt the last time they saw them. So we got the 10 of Wands, the 3 of Swords. Yeah, they're very heartbroken. This is the Knight of Cups reversed. We got the 10 of Wands, and let's get some more cards. The 2 of Swords. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I feel like they don't know how to proceed. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to fix this situation. They are really heartbroken. They are really going through it. Then we got the 10 of Pentacles. They could have seen themselves possibly starting a family with you guys. How was pile 4's person feeling the last time they saw pile 4? We got the 2 of Pentacles and the 6 of Pentacles. So there may also be that feeling that like they wish they could impress you in some way. They wish they could kind of like either provide for you or do something that would really blow you away and impress you and show you how special they are. And that may be another thing as well that bothers them, is they may feel like they embarrassed themselves in front of you, or they didn't show you what they could bring, for you. They didn't really fully show you like almost like their strengths and their good side of things. I feel like they feel almost like you see them as like a little brother or you see them as like a friend, or you see them as not good enough in some way, not a viable romantic partner. And I feel like that really bothers them. You know, they feel like they want to be more to you. They feel like they want to impress you more, or they want to take that different status in your life and really mean more to you. Like, I feel like this person did get to know you in one direction, but they also wanted to see you in almost like the more sexual side of you, or the more deeper, more primitive, unleashed side of you. I don't know if you were always like on your best behavior around them, or you're like a good girl or a good guy or something, and they wanted to see like that other private side of you, you know, that only your lover gets to see. But I feel like they wanted more of that intimacy. And I definitely feel like for them, they kind of take it to heart of like, I'm the one who failed here. I'm the one who didn't do it. And now probably some other person is going to be scooping pile number 4 up, because I'm sure pile 4 has so many options, so many suitors, so many people that want to date them and be around them and would literally do anything. Like, they see you as such a catch. They feel like you are not going to be single for long, if you even are single. They feel like you would probably have a line around the block of people wanting to date you. So I feel like for them, you know, there is this sense of bitterness around a missed opportunity, around something that almost was a connection that almost happened, but got waylaid some way, or didn't get to go to its full completion. And kind of like taking on the responsibility for that and claiming ownership over that, and acknowledging that they were the ones who probably could have done more. With the 10 of Wands, they may have felt just kind of exhausted. Sometimes, you know, when we like someone so much, we amp them up in our mind, we hype them up, we kind of think about them all the time, right? And when that happens, we can almost like get exhaustion from thinking about them 24/7, and get exhaustion from constantly worrying about what they're going to think about us. So it almost could feel like a relief just to be like, okay, this is the final time I'm seeing them. That's it, it's over. Instead of having to live in that place of constant worry and constant wondering what they're doing, and constant thinking about how they're going to like my t-shirt, and are they going to like my cologne, and are they going to think what I said is funny. But yeah, I feel like their connection with you, it feels like it was more than just the meeting of like two strangers that even really liked each other. It truly was like a soul deep opening up and unfolding into each other. It really was a meeting of the souls. And I feel like with this person, they have a sense that they got to know you deeper than anyone else did, but in a way they also don't know you about other things, you know? There's a part of you now, or maybe your current life, that they really don't know. That I feel like that causes them pain, you know? They wanted to be the one, I feel like, that you could open up to more than anyone else. They may also have sensed certain, like, I don't want to say damages around you, but if you have any pain or trauma, they may have been aware of that and kind of wanted to help fix you or heal you. Not that they see you as like damaged goods or some really negative way, but I feel like they see the vulnerability in you, and they really like that, and they kind of wanted to like try to help you with certain things, or try to open you up in some way, I guess. I feel like they really saw deep into you and wanted to bring value to your life, and maybe they feel like they failed in that sense as well, like they didn't live out what they had tried to do. You guys may have even had this in past lifetimes, where maybe this soulmate and you have a pattern with this, where they were supposed to help you in other lifetimes and they failed at that, and then they're repeating out this pattern, or vice versa. I don't know. But I feel like there's a big sense of sorrow and disappointment, and wanting to patch things up, but also like being afraid of everything that would mean, and the heaviness of the connection and the depth of the connection might kind of scare them off. So yeah, I feel like for them, they've definitely spent a lot of sleepless nights up thinking about this, wondering about this, wishing they could do things differently. Let me get into some of these cards For pile number 4, we want to see how pile number 4's person feels about pile number 4. Or, sorry, how they felt about them the last time they saw them. How they felt about them the last time they saw them. I just feel like intuitively one thing I'm getting as well is just how beautiful you looked the last time they saw you. Like they were just entranced by your beauty and your looks. Divine presence, the force of love and creation. Wow. Yeah, this is a very deep soulmate connection. It feels like it really, really, really went so deep and really touched you guys both on a soul level, on a really deep emotional level. Archangel Haniel, joy, blessings, intuition. They may feel very connected to you on the astral plane as well. They may feel like they can feel your presence. I'm hearing that line from some kind of like screamo song, but it's like, I can feel you all around me. I think it's a Christian screamo song, but anyway, that's what I'm hearing. I can feel you all around me. Then we got elementals. Nature, spirits, the 4 elements, okay? They may see you as like a fairy. The last time they saw you, they may have been thinking just how cute you look, like a fairy, like a little just charming, magical sprite that is just full of mischief and magic, and they can't believe you're around them. Like I feel like they were just very drawn to you, and they see you as kind of like something cute or something they want to protect, you know, something kind of delicate or fragile or breakable that they kind of want to like be there to defend you against the cruel world. Yeah, we got journey guide, travel, change in location. I don't know if you guys have like moved on, but that may be something that they really worry about is like you're thriving, you're doing your own thing now, and you're not really thinking about them as much anymore as you were at the time. And kind of like you're, like I said, living your best life and you're not really thinking about them anymore. So we also got up from the depths, releasing difficulty. Yeah, I feel like you've kind of, there's a sense in their mind that you may have moved on. I'm hearing onwards and upwards. So kind of like they're probably not even checking for me anymore. They're probably not even worried about me. They're not thinking about me. And it seems like you're somehow out of reach now on a level that you weren't before. Maybe you blocked them on the astral plane. Maybe you moved cities or you changed location somehow, but it feels like whatever access they may have had to you at one time or another, like you've revoked that, or they just can't get a hold of you anymore. And I feel like they really are bothered by that. I feel like that's something that drives them crazy, this idea that they were so close yet so far. I'm seeing someone grasping at like someone's dress, and the dress is just like just whisking out of their grasp, you know, like just trailing through their fingers. And they, yeah, I feel like that's how that feels, is like almost like I was so close and I messed it up. Let's get into some astrology dice for pile number 4 and how this person felt the last time they saw pile 4. Okay, so this was Aquarius, and we got Pluto and the 9th house, aka Sag. So we have Scorpio, Aquarius, and Sagittarius represented. So Aquarius is the water bearer. Aquarius can be very emotionally cut off and very in their head and more intellectual of a sign than emotional. So this person may almost like have felt overwhelmed by the emotions, so they felt like they had to kind of cut it off. Aquarius also is the 11th house of large groups and wishes coming true. They may have felt about you that you were kind of like a wish coming true for them, but it's also the house of large groups. And I feel like this person, again, there's some energy of them wanting to change their status from someone you know or consider like a friend or consider a member of a larger group that you're a part of and they're a part of, and just kind of like a buddy, pal, comrade vibe, you know, like coworker or classmate or something, into being someone that has more of that high status in your life. I feel like this person may have felt like you really have no idea how much they care, and that you like them as a friend, or you maybe you're a little romantically interested, but you don't reciprocate the feelings on the level they have for you. And that if you even knew how much they think of you and how much they care about you, that you would run screaming and you'd be like, you need to be locked up in a mental asylum. You're a nutcase. So I feel like there's a lot of that holding themselves back and kind of like, how do I get out of the friend zone? Or how do I get elevated from coworker status to lover status? We have Pluto coming out. Pluto is the 8th house Scorpio. This is where I said it's almost like they want you to see them in more of a sexual light, or them to get to see you in that way. That's really why Scorpio is so connected to sex, is because Scorpio really likes depth. They like to know someone better than anyone else. That's why they are the private detectives of the zodiac. And what better way to know someone throughout history? Only one person got to see you in that extremely sexual light, or see you naked or anything. And so that's why Scorpio rules those areas of the body and the sexual act itself. It's because it's so intimate, and because it's knowing someone deeper than anyone else can, knowing them in a way that like no one else will get to. So I feel like this person wanted that status with you. That mattered to them, is like they wanted to be the one who knew you better than anyone else and got to see you on a deeper level than anyone else did. I feel like that was something that really, really mattered to them, and they're kind of disappointed that they didn't make that happen. Then we have the 9th house, Sagittarius house. That is a house of travel, and it is a house of long distance travel and higher education, philosophy. It's a very spiritual house. I feel like they do feel that spiritual connection with you on the astral plane. They do feel connected to you on that deep soulmate, twin flame level. But also with the 9th house, it is a house of being busy and loving to learn and going new places and kind of having a fun schedule. So again, it feels to me like they sense that you're just kind of a happy person. You're moving onwards and upwards and traveling and exploring and having fun and having a good time, and that your life is going really well. So they just assume you don't miss them. They just assume that you're thriving, you're doing good, and why would you be thinking of them, when you're living your best life? And I feel like that kind of makes them really jealous and sad about thinking of you with other people, thinking of you dating others. That definitely drives them crazy, drives them up a wall, probably makes them pretty upset to think about. But they do feel that spiritual connection with you. And some of them may have even fought this spiritual connection or tried to deny it for a while. But I do feel like now there's like a full acknowledgement of like, wow, I've never felt this way with anyone else, and I feel so drawn to them, and there's such a spiritual component here. And this person's also very protective of you. I think I mentioned that a little, but it's just coming through as one final message about how protected they feel and how they really want to look out for you, and they want to make sure you're valuing yourself in relationships, that you're not, because there is this sense that like no one can love you like I love you. I kept hearing that in my mind, that lyric from the Yeah Yeah Yeahs, and yeah, and in Maps. It'd be funny if their band name was Yeah Yeah Yeahs and then they named every song a different variation of yeah. But no, the song is Maps, and the lyrics are, wait, they don't love you like I love you. So I feel like that's really how they feel, is like no one can love you the way I love you. And so please don't throw yourself away on some loser that is not going to appreciate you like the goddess that you are. And so that's, I guess, a parting message they wanted me to deliver to you, pile number 4. But that is what I have for you. I really hope it resonates, guys. If it does, let me know down in the comments. I always love hearing from you, hearing your thoughts, your stories. So please let me know, and make sure to give this reading a thumbs up, hit the like button, subscribe. That really helps the channel. If you want to see more of my content, head on over to my Patreon. I just posted a reading all about your money and financial situation, and before that, all about your karma from past lives, how that's affecting your life now. So since this has some past life energy, y'all might be interested in that one too. But there are over 80 different readings exclusive to Patreon that you'll get access to as soon as you sign up. And you also will get early and ad-free access to all my YouTube videos and they always get posted over there first. So you'll get to see them before anyone else over on Patreon. If that sounds good to you, then head to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments and the description. And if you would like to get a private session with me, you can get that at my website, briarrosetarot.com. You can just have me open channel for you and bring through whatever needs to come through, or you can ask me specific questions and channel into very specific areas of your life. So whether you want to just hear from your ancestors, angels, team on the other side, or you've got some burning questions that you really need to know about, either one works. If you're interested in that session with me, head to my website, briarrosetarot.com, and the link for that is in my description. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I am sending you so much love and light, and I'll be back again very soon with another reading. Take care, guys. Bye.